my guy, Aaron Rodgers, is going to step on the field of play for the final preseason game against the New York Giants. I got to tell you something right now. I like it.
Absolutely. I love it. This is him making a statement. Look, I want to see how it looks. I want to be in the midst of what we're going to be on the field with come week one, prior to just starting week one, having not taken any snaps. Obviously, you know better than most of us, like there's issues up front with the offensive line. He wants to solidify that. He wants to see how this offense runs with him at quarterback without going into week one having not taken the snaps. I absolutely love this approach by Aaron Rodgers. And
look, I think we all have gotten to the place where we minimize preseason for veterans because of the injury risk, obviously, and it's more about guys on the bubble trying to make a team or rookies understanding a system and all that. But he is new here. I know it's the old Nathaniel Hackett system, which he is very familiar with, obviously, when Hackett was his offensive coordinator in Green Bay. But he's never been on a field with live tackling with Garrett Wilson. He has not been on a field now with Dalvin Cook in the backfield. The offensive line, to be fair, there have been 9 different guys in 5 positions in the first 3 games. So I think it's smart. He's going to play, figure a series or 2, get the cobwebs off maybe a little bit, get some timing down, and I think it's a really smart idea, assuming that it happens.
Yeah, look, if Aaron Rodgers steps on the field, it's primarily because he wants to be on the field.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this isn't because of the New York Jets and the coaching staff. The fact that he has moving parts that are new, he's never played games. You just alluded to this. He's never been on the field in live situation with these guys, these 10 other guys.
And let me stop you there because I know a lot of you say, well, wait a minute, fellas. They did live practices against Carolina. But one of the rules of those live practices is that you're not allowed to sack the quarterback.
That's the rule of practice in any football.
You can touch him. You can't hit him.
You can't touch the quarterback. You can't even touch him. So he hasn't really truly felt the pressure that he possibly will feel in a regular season game when it's live. This is why you get out there. You want to take those hits. As a receiver, as a player, period, you want to get hit prior to you actually starting the season to kind of knock that little nervousness off, some of those cobwebs, get some of those rusty throws out of your system in the preseason so you can go into the season running on and clicking on all
there's something to be said about just feeling good, because there's a couple weeks between their final game and the actual start of the season, obviously, as the preseason games come to an end. He has not played in a preseason game since 2018.
Right.
So this is a big deal that he'll be playing a couple snaps against the New York Giants this weekend. Plenty of time to talk about that. Headline number 2, if you're a San Francisco 49er fan, you wanted to see Brock Purdy.
Yeah, this was important. The fact that you see him out there on the field in preseason, not just week 1, but preseason in a game that doesn't mean anything, it lets me know that he is getting closer to 100%. I know they're saying he's 100%. I'm of the belief nobody is ever truly 100%.
Right,
but Brock
including
Purdy,
you.
Brock Purdy, realistically, so I had ulnar nerve transposition surgery.
Tommy John action.
So it's quite similar to what Brock Purdy had. You lose your grip. So you want to know, can you throw that ball? Can you take that pressure of the snap? All the things. I'm not comparing myself to Brock Purdy, so don't even do it. I can see your mouth.
No, I'm just wondering, are you a righty?
I am a righty.
That means you're doing a lot of things lefty for the first time. I'm just saying. Have you ever tried to do things lefty?
I have.
Okay, you brush your teeth lefty?
My teeth lefty.
Eat lefty? Clean it up lefty? The whole bit? I'm just saying. If you've ever had to do it with the opposite hand, that ain't easy.
It is weird. It
ain't
weird.
easy.
You get a little messy sometimes.
Thank you, me.
Look, we're being honest.
Yeah, no. That's the first thing I'm thinking of. My man ain't clean today. That's the only that's the first thing I was thinking, but that's just the way I think. Anyhow, I'm glad you're on the road to recovery, as is your family. Headline number 3 is your guy. Now, this goes back to Friday night if you missed it. Of course, Darren Waller was a big part of it. He had 3 catches, 1 drive, 1 score. And I can tell you this, as a guy that grew up in New York, did sports talk radio in New York for a long time, it's one meaningless drive in the preseason, but you saw a little glimpse of what the Giant offense could be. No guarantee it will be, but you saw a little glimpse of the maturation of Daniel Jones, having Darren Waller healthy and on the field, and it could be something special.
I probably should be a little bit reserved here because it is the preseason.
No.
But it's Danny Dimes, baby, so I'm not. This is what I've been trying to tell you about.
It was preseason.
I don't care that it's preseason.
Yeah.
This is meaningful football. Every snap you take is important when you're Daniel Jones and you just signed that deal.
Yeah.
The fans want to see that you've taken a step in the right direction. Your coaching staff, the players around you. Obviously, you add Darren Waller to the table, and now you're seeing a guy who looks a lot more comfortable in the pocket. He's always been a pretty accurate quarterback. I just love his poise right now, the way that he's playing. And again, it is preseason.
Yep.
But this is what you want to see. When you have a starting quarterback and you have signed him to a long-term contract extension, you want to see that our franchise is in the right hands. And Daniel Jones,
yeah,
he's going to prove me right this year. Let's go. I knew it.
You've had him in your top 10 for a long time. I wonder later in the show if Danny Jones moves up in your top 10. We will find out. But the one thing, again, if you watched any of Friday night's game, the thing I personally love about Brian Daboll, he didn't have the guys out there running through things that they wouldn't do in the regular season. Mm-hmm. That was their offense. And what I mean by that, and you guys can show the highlights again, it'll back up my point here real quick. It was Daniel Jones out of the pocket to the right, making a good decision, finding an open receiver. It was Danny Jones slightly coming to his left, finding the tight end for a touchdown. That's their offense because Daniel Jones is one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. So it wasn't like we just put him on the field and said, 3-step drop, quick release, all right, get off the field. It was, this is our offense. Let's see it.
Yeah, this is what it's going to look like. Like, you play to the strengths of the guys that you have on your offensive unit. That's why I like what Daboll has always done at the position of being a head coach with Daniel Jones. Last year, we saw him lean into his strengths, allowing him to be more RPO heavy, run the ball. Now you're going to see him rolling out a little bit more so that if he does need to use his legs, he can use his legs. But what this does, and I'm not trying to minimize the game for Daniel Jones because I think that he can play the entire field from the pocket, but you allow your quarterback, when you roll him out to the right or to the left, to just play one side of the field. Now you read from the safety on, whichever way you're rolling out, the play is condensed, the defense is cut in half, you make quick, decisive decisions, get the ball out of your hands, or you run with it.
Yeah, and the thing with him is he ran for 700 yards last year, and they were design runs, talking about Daniel Jones. Now you get him out of the pocket, and it's an option, right? He can run because he can, but also if you're a defensive back or a safety trying to figure out, am I going to get Daniel Jones or is Darren Waller behind me?
Because they have
optionality now.
He's a threat.
But his Giants offense might be pretty
And I will
good.
say this, they look really good. Now, this is not just Daniel Jones. This is going to be a well-coached team. We saw this team win close games last year.
Every game they won was a score or less.
We saw that, and we kind of make it seem like, you can't play that way. Well, when you're a very well-coached team and you're getting by, that's how you have to win games. This year, we'll see. They're going to be a well-coached team. They have great depth. I love it.
Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.